Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook. People in the world of gods, they actually say that the system Godhead is the weakest. Chapter 31. After eating more than 100 breads, Mo-Yun roughly got the probability of the crit system appearing. According to preliminary estimates, the critical strike system will strike once every 20 times or so. If there is no critical strike at 30 times, the probability of subsequent critical strikes will become extremely high. Mo-Yun conducted a second round of calculations by chopping and cutting stones. Unfortunately, different types of critical strikes were calculated independently of each other. If it is not calculated independently of each other, he can use the method of eating bread or chopping stones to superimpose the number of non-critical strikes to 30, and then proceed to the settlement of daily practice. Mo-Yun calculated secretly. According to the current probability, in the next 20 days, the number of critical strikes for cultivation will normally appear once, and if you are lucky, it may be twice. He shouldn't be so unlucky that he didn't get a critical strike for 20 days. In about 20 days, he still had 3 chances to actively use the critical strike system. To be on the safe side, Mo-Yun decided to use an active critical strike chance for his cultivation value. Soon, it was 6 days later. Ding! The practice is completed in 1 day, and the total practice value obtained, 1064.4 days. With the accumulation of Huishan mine in the past few days, Mo-Yun's limit practice speed has reached the level of about 1200 days. But the limit is the limit after all. In fact, the training value that can be obtained in 1 day is about 1050 days. Because of the critical strike system once every 7 days, if it is not used, it will not be refreshed again. Mo-Yun actively used the critical strike system without hesitation at this time. Ding! You have triggered the 10 times critical strike system, and this time the critical strike multiplier is 17 times. 17 times. Mo-Yun secretly thought that the goddess of luck really took care of him. I don't know if I can meet the goddess of luck in the world of gods in the future. If so, Mo-Yun hopes to increase her intimacy with her. Through the crit system, you have gained an additional 17,030.4 days of divine power. The divine power of 17,030.4 days is close to the divine power of 47 years. When nearly 47 years of divine power poured into Mo-Yun's body, Mo-Yun felt an unprecedented sense of comfort. Even when looking for Elsa to relax, Mo-Yun didn't feel such a strong sense of refreshment. His divine power has risen rapidly, from more than 20 years of divine power to 70 years in one fell swoop. However, the price was also very obvious. The Huishan ore around him instantly faded and cracked a large piece. It's like a shoddy old building that has had an accident. But compared to the Huishan ore in the entire warehouse, this is nothing. Mo-Yun suddenly felt a little pity. What a joy it would be if he could absorb all the elements in the Huishan ore in the entire warehouse. Early the next morning, Elsa came to the warehouse with a feeling of apprehension. She heard movement in the warehouse yesterday, but she didn't come to check right away. Because it was night at that time. It's a bit ridiculous to say that she is no longer that holy elf virgin, and she had 2 intimate relationships with Mo-Yun half-heartedly this week, but she herself seems to be holding something back. Elsa didn't know what happened in the warehouse. She thought of many possibilities. She felt that maybe she should think about her future. Walking into the lair of Huishan mine, Elsa found Mo-Yun meditating in it safe and sound. She felt that she should be disappointed, but at this time, she unexpectedly found that she seemed to feel grateful at the same time. This complicated mood made her suddenly a little scared. Elsa, why are you here? Mo-Yun opened his eyes and looked at his personal items. Lord Mo-Yun, I want to come and see you. At this time, Elsa suddenly noticed that the lair built by Mo-Yun with the Huishan mine was not the same as before, it had been expanded a lot. You actually came to take the initiative to see me. Mo-Yun naturally became interested in this stunning silver-haired female elf. Seeing this, Elsa quickly said, Master Mo-Yun, actually I have something important to discuss with you. Oh, what's the matter? Speaking of business, Mo-Yun immediately became serious. Lord Mo-Yun, I heard from the slaves that if Gandy comes back. I understand what you mean, but... Mo-Yun interrupted Elsa, her tone became deep. Actually, I'm just waiting for Gandy to come back. But I heard that Gandy possesses century-old divine power and an invulnerable golden body, so powerful. Elsa said in surprise. I know this much better than you. Mo Yun said lightly. A whip of revenge. Mo Yun has been remembered for a long time. Of the names waiting to be crossed off on the death list, there is only this last one left. No one can escape. Elsa froze for a moment. She didn't know whether Mo Yun was confident or arrogant. She began to worry about her future. Elsa whispered, Master Mo Yun, then I won't bother you. Looking at Elsa, who found an excuse to escape, Mo Yun could tell that the holy elf was still brooding over the fact that he had taken away her purity. But from the moment he came to the god realm, Mo Yun knew. The law of the jungle is the law of survival in the world of the gods. If you don't want to be eaten by someone stronger than you, that is to become stronger than the other person. Mo Yun also seriously began to think about the specific battle plan. There are still about 2 weeks before Gandy returns. By that time, if nothing happens, his divine power should reach about 130 years. Compared with Gandy, who has at least 100 years of divine power, this is actually not an advantage. Gandy is not a parallel importer like Isobe. Mo Yun believes that Gandy, who has at least 100 years of supernatural power, must possess divinity. Against Gandy, one must not take it lightly. In 2 weeks, Mo Yun also had 2 opportunities to actively use the crit system, and the second time was naturally reserved for Gandy. So for the first time, Mo Yun decided to create a new fighting divinity. Mo Yun spent half a day questioning everyone who might have valuable information. The human overseer Dick, the centaur cook Daniel, and some slaves who had worked in the mine for more than 10 years. Soon, a lot of very useful information was obtained. Half of it is about the wild gods, and the other half is about Gandy. What is certain is that Gandy does possess divinity. This is the information Mo Yun got from Dick, but Dick didn't know what kind of divinity Gandy possessed, and he also heard it from the Tauran supervisor. The only adjective is mighty, exceptionally powerful. In addition, Mo Yun also knew one of the 3 abilities of Gandy's divine crystal, which is called the golden body. As the name suggests, it is an ability to strengthen the body's defenses. As for the degree of strength, Mo Yun was very helpless and got the answer of, very strong, very strong, and can't break anything, which has no nutritional value. In addition, Gandy's other ability is suspected to be related to his weapon double swords. Mo Yun thought about it for a while, and felt that the raging fire spear could hardly establish an advantage over Gandy. The ability of the golden body is likely to appear specifically for long-range strikes. Since there is no invincible way to win, that seems to be only straightforward. Mo Yun made a decision immediately. He made a detailed training plan, and then selected a few big guys from the slaves. When these big men heard that Mo Yun had come to them and asked them to beat Mo Yun's body with wooden sticks or even stone hammers, they were so frightened that they knelt on the ground and begged for mercy. Knowing that Mo Yun threatened to throw them into the crater if they didn't do so, they had to reluctantly get on their horses. Ding! Check that you have undergone special training. Get 10 times physical defense enhancement. The divinity Mo Yun wants to cultivate is not defensive. But since Gandy has a golden body, Mo Yun feels that if he does not strengthen his defense to about 100 times, it will be difficult to compete with Gandy on the same stage. In addition to the basic defense, Mo Yun also did not give up in other aspects. It would be great if his strength, agility, endurance, perception, etc., which had already reached about 100 times, could also strengthen his divinity. The more divinity he possessed, the greater his confidence in defeating Gandy. And his main practice direction. After going through a lot of selection, Mo Yun also chose the knife. He wanted to see whether it was Gandy's golden head or his own knife. 8 hours of basic physical training every day, plus 8 hours of chopping training, and the last 8 hours of meditation rest. Mo Yun squeezed the time to the extreme. Even Elsa couldn't help wondering if Mo Yun had changed his gender, or if his hobbies had changed. Ding! It is detected that the host has undergone special training, and has obtained 15 times the enhancement of sword skills. 7 days passed quickly. After waiting for the 15 times enhancement to appear, Mo Yun used the active crit. And the enhancement of his sword skills accumulated in the past 7 days has reached 230 times. Explode me! Mo Yun roared, and the favor of the goddess of luck came again. Ding! You have triggered the 10-fold crit system. The enhancement multiplier is 22 times, and an additional 315 times the sword technique enhancement. At this moment, the strengthening of Mo Yun's sword technique has reached an astonishing 560 times. A powerful understanding emerged in Mo Yun's mind, and he felt that the knife in his hand had become a part of his body. No, it is a part far beyond your own body. His understanding of the knife even surpassed his understanding of himself. Ding! Congratulations to the host, you have obtained the first level divinity, split mountains and rocks. Mo Yun let out a long breath. He has nothing to fear now. Now, just wait for Gandy's return. It has been almost 3 weeks since Gandy left, and in the remaining week, he can relax a little and strengthen his other abilities. It would undoubtedly be better if he could develop a divinity through further training. But even if it doesn't matter. Speaking of which, he could finally take a break at this time, taste some delicacies, take a hot bath, and then go to the Holy Beauty Elf to relax. Day by day, the atmosphere in the mining area became more and more strange. Everyone knew that Gandy would return to the mining area after a month of training with Lord Yate. By that time, Gandy, the overseer leader of the mining area, will probably become even stronger than before. When he came back and found that the mining area had been occupied by doves and magpies, no one knew what would happen next. Mo Yun is still practicing quietly in the warehouse of Huishan Mine. In the last week or so, he really awakened a new divinity. Elementary divinity, surging life. But this divinity is not very strong, because it is the divinity that is produced when the vitality is strengthened to 100 times. Obviously, it is much worse than the flame resistance. The reason why the vitality will be strengthened to 100 times seems to be because no matter what kind of basic training Mo Yun is doing, the strengthening of strength, endurance, and physical defense will be strengthened to the vitality by accident. But having divinity is much better than not having divinity. Mo Yun can feel that after possessing the surging life, his vitality is at least 3 times that of before. It seems that he will not die easily. At this time, Mo Yun opened his eyes, and his perception was nearly 200 times stronger, which made him aware that a dragon eagle was approaching the mining area. Mo Yun picked up the knife in his hand, carried a large bundle of spears on his back, and strode out of the warehouse of Huishan Mine. Troll Gandy, finally home. At this time, the last 2 gods who belonged to the mining area were flying towards the mining area in a dragon eagle cart. The godman driving looked at the mining area in the distance, and was a little puzzled. Why didn't you see Isobe? Suddenly, he noticed several figures in the distance, and caught a trace of the other party's voice in his ear. Master Gandy, there seems to be something wrong. At this time, on the crater, several slaves had already climbed here. They jumped up and waved their arms towards the dragon eagle in the sky, shouting loudly. Lord Gandy, help! These slaves betrayed Mo Yun without hesitation. From their point of view, Mo Yun, who has not escaped after Gandy's arrival, is simply overthinking his capabilities and seeking his own death. The ridiculous lamb to the slaughter who is still dreaming of the Emperor's sweet dreams. So they stood on what they believed to be the right position at the first time. The Dragonhawk cart descended slowly, and finally kept a stable position a little above the crater. The troll Gandy sitting in front of the cart stared coldly at the slaves. Why don't you work? Why are you calling for help again? Master Gandy, while you were away. A slave, he occupied this place, killed Lord Sobe and the others. And forced us to obey. A slave, killed Sobe. The troll Gandy's first reaction was that these slaves were crazy. How could a slave who has not attained the Godhead be the opponent of the Eagle Overseer Sobe who has 40 years of divine power? But the next moment, he discovered that these slaves were not lying. A fiery flame, like a 3-headed dragon made of raging fire, was flying straight towards him. The troll Gandy turned his head suddenly, and he quickly realized that the goal of the flame was not himself, but the driver of the gods driving behind him. Want to succeed? It's not that easy. The 2 golden scimitars were pulled out from behind by the troll Gandy. When the 2 knives were combined together, a cross-cut golden light was drawn in the air, and they collided with the 3-headed flood dragon. What the troll Gandy didn't expect was that the 3-headed dragon was even better. Seeing that the opponent's remaining prestige was not exhausted, the troll Gandy jumped up and blocked this attack with his body. Go to Huishan Market immediately and report what happened here to Lord Ailes. Yes, the gods who drove the car were still in shock, and hurriedly drove the Dragon Eagle cart into the sky. In the distance, Mo Yun holding a spear showed a regretful expression. That's right, his target was indeed not Gandy, but the godman driving behind Gandy. However, all this did not go beyond Mo Yun's expectations, and he didn't think he could kill the coachman in front of Gandy. So, from now on, the battle between him and Gandy officially begins. Blazing spear. Hair. Mo Yun picked up the spear and threw it at Gandy in the distance. The blazing fire spear streaked across the sky, like a huge firework in summer, and it rushed towards Gandy with great power. The troll Gandy stared coldly at the tiny figure in the distance, and he recognized Mo Yun. Mixed fools, they should all be killed. Clang. The troll Gandy hit the flaming spear flying from the sky with his golden scimitar, but his arm trembled slightly. The power of the flaming spear was a bit beyond his expectation. The movements of Mo Yun's hands have never stopped. Blazing spear. Resend. One after another, the blazing spears pierced the sky and landed beside Gandy. Gandy, wielding a golden scimitar in his hand, chopped off all the falling blazing spears. The slaves on the mountain were very disturbed when they saw this situation. They originally thought that Gandy should defeat Mo Yun by crushing, but this scene made them feel uneasy. Maybe they made a wrong choice. Suddenly, Gandy slashed and missed, and a fiery spear hit Gandy's body. The slaves almost stopped breathing. However, the golden light on Gandy's body flashed, and the fiery spear was thrown out again. The slaves let out a long breath. In front of Lord Gandy's golden body, that fool. Mo Yun, it is impossible to hurt Lord Gandy's hair. That's right, Lord Gandy, kill that pretentious villain. Several slaves shouted to cheer for Gandy, but at this moment, they suddenly saw blood on Gandy's body. The voice almost froze at this moment, but Gandy touched the blood and wiped a bloodstain on her face. This was a unique pre-hunting ritual among his troll tribe before he came to the god realm. The troll tribe never cared about bloodshed. A more accurate statement is, bleeding is the troll. At this moment, Mo Yun found that Gandy had changed. Gandy seemed to have turned into a Fengshan cheetah, charging towards Mo Yun with a posture 10 times stronger than before. Mo Yun's eyes turned cold, and the fiery spear in his hand kept firing. But this time, the troll Gandy, who was jumping around on the rocks like a wild beast, avoided all the blazing spears. In an instant, the troll Gandy had already come in front of Mo Yun. His crimson eyes emitted a breathtaking light, and the troll Gandy opened his mouth, and the golden ring on the white fangs reflected the dazzling golden light. Dirty half-breed, I'll make you regret living in this world. At this time, Mo Yun suddenly remembered that the first time he heard the word, mixed fool was from the mouth of the troll Gandy. There is one more reason for Gandy to die. Mo Yun raised the long knife in his hand, and said coldly, ridiculous pig. I regret living in this world, and I will also give it to you. Clang. The long knife in Mo Yun's hand collided with the two golden knives in Gandy's hand. This long knife belonged to a dead supervisor. Naturally, its strength could not be compared with the golden knife in Gandy's hand, but under the blessing of divinity, it possessed unparalleled thickness. Every time, it was as if a huge boulder was pressing on Gandy, and a series of slashes made Gandy retreat step by step. Such a development was unexpected by Gandy. Troll Gandy, is this the only thing you can do? Mo Yun snorted coldly, and slashed out with the long knife in his hand. Gandy stepped forward to block with both swords, and Mo Yun shouted coldly in his heart. Split mountains and rocks. At this moment, the long knife in Mo Yun's hand turned into a mountain-opening giant blade, which exuded a muddy light from the beginning to the end, as if possessing an extremely solid and heavy power. Give it to me, drive. The double knives in the hands of the troll Gandy were bounced off, and the long knife and giant blade hit Gandy's body heavily. Afterwards, Gandy's body released a dazzling golden light, which is one of Gandy's Godhead crystal abilities. Don't break the golden body. But at this time, the unbroken golden body was broken. As if the gilded statue was smashed, there was a sound of the golden statue cracking from Gandy's body, hot blood stained Gandy's body and the long blade in Mo Yun's hand red. Mo Yun snorted coldly. In front of chopping mountains and rocks, the so-called golden body is really useless. However, Gandy laughed at this time. The fresh blood that flowed from his body gradually spread across his body as if it had its own vitality, and Gandy's 2 white fangs turned scarlet at this moment. Bleeding as the troll. After working in the mining area for 100 years, he couldn't remember how long he hadn't used the power of his 2 remaining divine crystals. Crazy blood. Blade. At this moment, the troll Gandy's body turned crimson, his speed became more agile, and his strength became more violent, and the bleeding gave him an unparalleled strengthening. And the 2 yellow turban scimitars in his hands were already glowing crimson at this time. Just looking at them gave people a feeling as if they were looking directly at the blood-raged King Kong. Die, die. Like the troll Gandy, who moved several times faster, he dropped the 2 golden hunting blades in his hands towards Mo Yun like a whirlwind meat grinder, so fast that people couldn't see the movements clearly. Mo Yun's eyes became serious, he took a deep breath, and greeted him without hesitation. Let you come a few ways, and I will kill you with 1 blow. ... After the sound of fighting sounded, the slaves in the mining area hurriedly climbed from the cave to the top of the mountain to observe this bloody and vicious contest. Many people did not expect to be able to play like this. Many people think that although Mo Yun is strong, he is by no means an opponent of the troll Gandy. After all, the reputation of the troll Gandy has been resounding in the mining area for 100 years. Others feel that since Mo Yun is confident, he must have his reasons. Although they were not optimistic about Mo Yun, they decided to wait and see. But such a fight shocked everyone's heart. No matter who the 2 were, they couldn't afford a trace of hostility. Elsa silently stared at Mo Yun's figure. This victory or defeat is related to her fate, and it is also related to the fate of all the slaves here. The battle between Troll Gandy and Mo Yun intensifies. Chop, fight, bleed. There are more and more wounds on the troll Gandy's body, and his movements are becoming faster and more violent. There are more and more wounds on Mo Yun's body. The 100-fold defense enhancement prepared in advance and the divinity of surging life unexpectedly came in handy. Under the effect of surging life, many wounds are actually healing rapidly. The blood of the troll Gandy became hotter, and his eyes became more scarlet. Mo Yun's defense and vitality have far exceeded his expectations. His defensive power and vitality come from the ability of the Godhead crystal, so where does Mo Yun's vitality and defensive power come from? If it is also the power of the crystal of the Godhead, what is the origin of the spear that is like a raging fire, the slash that is as thick as a mountain? Mo Yun brought too many doubts to Gandy, which also made Gandy feel more and more dangerous. Time to end this battle. Gandy uttered a strange language, and the golden scimitar in his hand suddenly became bigger. His body grew in vain, from a 2-meter-tall troll to a full 4-meter high. His huge body looked like a prehistoric giant, overlooking Mo Yun. This is the divinity that Gandy realized. The body of the ancestors. Seeing that Gandy had turned into a giant Gandy, Mo Yun took a step back and smiled. He has always been worried that his trump card may fail, even if the possibility is less than 1/10, it still makes Mo Yun dare not take it lightly. But now, after Gandy had grown so big, his worries disappeared in an instant. Mo Yun will jump high, and slam the knife in his hand towards Gandy. Cut, split mountains and rocks, blast me, ding. You actively triggered the 10 times critical strike system, and the attack multiplier is 20 times. A mountain-like blade fell from the head of the troll Gandy, cutting the ancestral body of Gandy, together with the mountain peak under his feet, into 2 halves. The troll Gandy stared at the scarlet eyes full of blood, and that look seemed to ask again. How can this be? All the slaves stared at the scene just now with dumbstruck eyes, and then, smoke and dust rose from the cracked mountain peak. Mo Yun came out from the smoke. Troll Gandy, beheaded. After the outcome was decided, the slaves couldn't wait to show their loyalty to Mo Yun. Lord Mo Yun, we have put these shameless traitors to death. Those slaves who chose to betray Mo Yun have been dragged in front of Mo Yun. To be precise, their bodies were dragged in front of Mo Yun. In order to show their loyalty to Mo Yun, a group of slaves beat the slaves who stood in the wrong line to death with fists, feet and stones on the road. These few people now can't even see their complete appearance. Seeing the actions of these people, Mo Yun felt very ridiculous, but praised. Good job. You guys go back to work now. Thank you for your compliment, Master Mo Yun. All the slaves were relieved and returned to work one after another. Compared with the 2 loaves of bread a day before, they feel that the current day is not bad. But at this time these slaves did not know that Mo Yun had abandoned them at this time. He is about to leave the mine. If the coachman had been killed, he might have had more time to prepare to leave. But now, he must leave immediately. After Mo Yun sent all the slaves away, only Elsa and the human overseer Dick remained. Mo Yun asked Elsa, "I plan to leave here and go to the wilderness. Are you planning to stay here as my accomplice and be hanged? Or come with me?" Elsa smiled wryly. This was not an option at all. Instead, the human Dick looked sad. Since Mo Yun kept him here, he must take him to the wilderness. He really wanted to reject Mo Yun, but he was worse than Elsa, and Mo Yun didn't even give him a chance to ask his opinion. Come to the Dragon Eagle station in the mining area again. Mo Yun used the key to open the huge door lock, and the 2 rows of Dragon Eagles inside were already familiar to Mo Yun. A few days ago, Mo Yun found an elf slave who could drive a Dragon Eagle, learned the skill of driving a Dragon Eagle from him, and completed a 16-fold enhancement of driving a Dragon Eagle. His current level of driving the Dragon Eagle has been perfected. Mo Yun has also learned a lot about the law of survival in the wilderness, and now it can be said that he is quite familiar with it on paper. But all is still unknown until you have actually encountered the wild gods of disorder and madness. The 3 of Mo Yun put on grey cloaks, and Mo Yun held Elsa in his arms and sat on the double-saddled Dragon Eagle. Dick naturally sat on the saddle behind. Afterwards, the Dragon Eagle flapped its wings and flew from the cliff at the exit of the station to the blue sky. Bathed in the warm wind, Mo Yun felt as if he had been sublimated. This is the wind of freedom. Huishan Market. As one of the most important industries in the Huishan territory, the Huishan market is responsible for storing the Huishan stone produced in the mining area and transporting it to the city of the demigod yacht once a year. In this township-sized market, notices of all sizes are plastered everywhere, and notice boards of various styles have become a unique and independent landscape. And all the notices, slaves, gods, and a dozen noble sons of gods here obey the orders of one person. He is the person in charge of Huishan Bazaar, the son of God, Ailes. Ailes is a rare order Godhead, and the Godhead is named. Announce the Godhead. At this time, in front of Eilers, the coachman was telling Eilers everything he knew. Eilers sends a son of God to investigate the situation. After a while, he got a reply that Gandy, the supervisor, was dead and that the mining area was leaderless. Gandy the troll, who was very hopeful to become the new son of God within 20 years, unexpectedly died at the hands of a slave. Ailes was playing with a white feather in his hand, and the white wings behind him made people dizzy. His race is the angelic race known as the servants of the gods. But there are not many gods in the mortal world, so although angels claim to be servants of the gods in the mortal world, they have already stood at the pinnacle of all living beings. In the world of gods, the title of servant of the gods is no longer a compliment. Alice was remembering something. Gods always live for a long time, and the long years have given them too many memories, and it is not an easy task to find important memories from them. Soon, Eilers remembered. He remembered that his master, the demigod Lord Ader, did not rebuild the temple when he opened up this territory. After all, the cost of rebuilding a temple is extremely high. What Yate adopted was to establish a relationship with the ownerless temple that originally existed on the territory here, making himself the chief priest and spokesperson of the temple. Therefore, the godheads in Huishan Ling Temple are very mixed. Some godheads are rare, some are very weak, and the system godheads are the rare and weak ones. It is worth mentioning that in the sea of godheads, there are no 2 identical godheads. It's like there are no 2 identical stars in the universe. But just like all blazing hot stars can be called the sun, some godheads will have the same name. For example, there will be a 4th-class Vulcan godhead, and there will be a 5th-class Vulcan godhead. As for the system godhead, Ailes had never heard of the second one. Its all kinds are completely incompatible with the godheads in this star god realm, and Eilers is very suspicious that it is a foreign species that has fled to the star god realm from other god realms. For a time, Eilers was intrigued. But after continuously observing the tragic fate of the first few hosts of this system godhead, Ailes's superfluous interest immediately shifted to other things. What is the use of a godhead who doesn't even have the ability to absorb elements? But now, there is a change. The snow-white paper flew in front of Ailes, and the feather in his hand turned into a quill. Ailes said lightly, "A notice is a law. Laws or rules? Rules or laws? Decree. Reward. Wanted. Mo Yun. A white light flew out from the notice in Ale's hands and flew to a distant place. There, it is the direction where Mo Yun rides the dragon eagle to the wilderness. Dick, how far are we from Camp Castro? It's probably less than 1/3 of the way. Dick replied quickly. Mo Yun continued to drive the dragon eagle, looking at the mountains and rivers in the distance. The wasteland in the mouth of the gods is not an endless desert. On the contrary, the wilderness is a natural feature of great beauty. Mo Yun holds the beauty in his arms and looks at the beautiful scenery in front of his eyes. If it is regarded as a tourist, Mo Yun feels that he will be very comfortable. But Mo Yun knew very clearly in his heart that there were infinite dangers hidden under the surface of this wasteland. Danger is always good at adorning himself with a beautiful appearance. What he is going now is the front in this direction. In fact, before leaving the mining area, Mo Yun has actually chosen the place to go next. Camp Castro. In fact, up to now, the Dragon Eagle has still not flown out of Huishan territory, and this place is still under the jurisdiction of Huishan Market, although it seems like a wasteland that no one cares about. The Castro camp is at the end of the Huishan territory, at the intersection of the Huishan territory and the wasteland. A place like the Castro camp is actually similar to the urban-rural junction of Blue Mercury, but the wilderness is the city that the wilderness gods pursue. In this kind of place, there are no powerful wilderness gods, because once a powerful wilderness god approaches the territory of God's domain, otherwise it will arouse the vigilance of the Lord and even break out of war. Therefore, most of the wilderness gods wandering on the border of God's domain are the most elementary gods and people. The gods of the wilderness at the level of the gods, they can neither live completely out of the domain of order like the powerful gods, but also have a real need for the wilderness. The same is true for Mo Yun at this time. With his current strength, if he really plunged into the wilderness, he would be looking for death. Although the result of staying in Huishan is unknown, it will definitely not be a happy ending. Mo Yun had to choose to become a wild god. The only difference is that he didn't yearn for the wilderness, but chose the best way of survival that he could choose so far. Just as Long Ying was heading to the camp, Mo Yun suddenly had a strange feeling. Because of the divinity of 3 flowers gathering on the top, Mo Yun has a keen grasp of details. He could clearly understand that something seemed to lock him. Elsa, who was embraced by Mo Yun, moved her body uncomfortably. She felt that Mo Yun's body suddenly seemed a little stiff, and asked subconsciously, "What's wrong with you?" Mo Yun frowned and said, "I feel like I'm being watched by something." After hearing this sentence again, Dick, the human supervisor, changed his face instantly, and quickly said to Mo Yun, "Master Mo Yun, not good. Hurry up and land." "That's it." Mo Yun looked around vigilantly, and after confirming that there was no ambush on the ground, he began to control the Dragon Eagle to land, and asked Dick at the same time, "What happened?" "It's Lord Ailes. It's Lord Ailes," Dick said in horror, but such words have no specific value. But soon, Mo Yun guessed what Dick wanted to express, and a white light flew from the sky. Obviously, this white light was directed at him. Just as the white light shot over, Mo Yun threw Dick off the Dragon Eagle, and then jumped off the Dragon Eagle with Elsa in his arms. Just when he was about to fall to the ground, Mo Yun drew out his long knife, concentrated his body's strength on his right arm, and sent a heavy blow to the ground, splitting mountains and cutting rocks. The powerful force blasted to the ground, and under the force of the hedge, Mo Yun landed on the ground safely. And that poor Dragon Eagle was pierced through a big hole by the white light. Mo Yun felt a lingering fear. The white light itself is not very strong, but it is enough to kill Longying. If I fell from such a high place just now, I can't guarantee whether I can be as safe as I am now. Cough, cough, cough. Mo Yun turned his head and saw Dick, who was coughing. Dick used his clothes as a parachute and fell to the ground. At this time, he seemed to be fine. "What was that just now?" Mo Yun asked Dick again. "It's Lord Ailes' arrest warrant. He has locked your approximate location through the arrest call." Dick was obviously very nervous when Ailes was mentioned. Mo Yun was taken aback, and quickly said, "That is to say, he now knows my exact location." "No, just know the general direction." Mo Yun couldn't help but lamented that the power of the gods is really strange and unpredictable. This feeling of being spied on in the dark is really uncomfortable. Is there any way to avoid this positioning? Mo Yun asked Dick again. As long as you leave the territory of Huishan Market, you'll be fine. The closer you are to Huishan Market, the more accurate the location of Lord Aile's arrest warrant will be. The farther you are, the rougher it is. As long as you leave Huishan territory, he won't be able to locate it. Hearing this, Mo Yun finally breathed a sigh of relief. Ayers, son of God. Although Mo Yun hadn't even seen him at this time, he already felt the power of Ailes from the means just now. This strength really cannot be matched by the current self. Mo Yun was secretly grateful for his decision. It is undoubtedly the most correct choice to flee the mining area and go to the Castro camp immediately. Dick, do you still know the way to Camp Castro? No. Okay, lead the way immediately. After several hours of walking, Mo Yun finally came to Camp Caslo. However, Dick and Elsa, who were following Mo Yun, felt overwhelmed at this moment. Thanks to 100 times of agility and stamina, Mo Yun is not only extremely fast and does not need to rest, but even on the road, he even strengthened a sprint by 11 times, and his pace instantly became outrageous. Dick is better than Elsa, he is a god after all. Because Elsa has no godhead, even though she has natural agility as an elf, she still couldn't match Mo Yun until she was carried behind her by Mo Yun. If it weren't for Elsa and Dick, maybe the journey would have taken Mo Yun less than an hour. Mo Yun glanced at Elsa and Dick, and knew that the first thing he did when he came to the Castro camp was to take a rest. However, he just needed to get acquainted with the wilderness ecology of Camp Castro first. The three of them put on their hoods and stepped into the Castro camp. Camp Castro looks very open, anyone can enter, and the overall size is like a village on Blue Mercury. Although the sparrow is small, it has all internal organs. Judging from the various shops, it seems that this place can meet all the daily needs of most gods and people. In the camp, many people were wearing gray or black cloaks and hoods like them, and some of them even covered their faces. There are also more advanced cloaks. From the outside, there is only a cloud of fog under the hood, and nothing can be seen clearly. There are also many people who don't bother to pretend to be themselves at all. They swaggered through the streets, everyone wore weapons and armor, they didn't look like gods, but like mercenaries. Suddenly, there was a scream from the street. Mo Yun soon saw that a man wearing a cloak was stabbed through the body, and the dead body was raised high by the killer with a sword. The killer shouted to passers-by, "I'm optimistic. This is the fate of offending our Herman family." Pedestrians on the street remained the same, as if they were already familiar with such a scene. Is this the god of the wilderness? At this moment, Mo Yun finally clearly understood the bloody ecological laws of the wasteland. In contrast, the life of slaves in the mining area turned out to be very gentle. Moving forward, a shout caught Mo Yun's attention. Come and take a look. Absolutely beautiful Catwoman, her body is so soft that you can't speak. And she's a virgin, such a beautiful virgin. Only 20 silver coins. Only 20 silver coins. At this time, Mo Yun was quite sensitive to the word slave, so he looked over unconsciously. Next to a slave trader, I saw a cute Catwoman standing there timidly. She was wearing simple linen clothes, and her face was full of fear, which made people unable to help feeling in love. Although she is not as beautiful as Elsa, she is also better than most female stars on Blue Mercury. However, such a Catwoman is only worth 20 silver coins. Mo Yun has no concept of the value of the gods, money. He only knows that he found a lot of silver coins on the overseers who were killed by him. The biggest contributor was Gandy. In addition to the silver coins, Gandy also had 2 gold coins in his pocket. Mo Yun asked Dick curiously, "Is this the price for all slaves?" That's not the case. Dick seemed to know quite a bit about this kind of thing, a little ostentatiously. In different places, the price of slaves is different. If it is in the center of the god's domain, everyone summoned by the temple is a god, even if there is no godhead. There, the price of slaves is astonishingly expensive. But our place is at the very edge of God's domain, and it's even a wasteland. The most worthless thing in the wasteland is people, especially waste without godhood. Finally, Dick concluded, the price of this slave is obviously too high. Taller, 20 silver coins for a Catwoman, Dick actually said it was too high. Mo Yun was surprised, but the fact was as Dick said, The slave trader called for a while but no one asked the price, so he had to lower the price. In the end, the call went from 20 silver coins to 10 silver coins, and no one paid for it. Money-losing idiot. The slave trader picked up the whip and whipped it on Catwoman's back. There was a bloody welt on the sackcloth, and Catwoman shrank back with tears in the corners of her eyes. Elsa's body trembled slightly, and she subconsciously moved closer to Mo Yun. 8 silver coins, I want it. A person hiding under the hood suddenly said. Under the seemingly tall cloak, there was a seductive female voice. 8 for 8, a deal. After selling the Catwoman slave, the slave trader pulled out another leopard man who was bound by chains, saying, "This time I'm selling it to the gods, 10 years of divine power, the power of the Godhead crystal with agility, camouflage, and sharp claws. But I don't care if you run away after buying it. 80 silver coins, do you want it?" This time, the onlookers seemed to have a desire to buy. "I want it. I offer 82 pieces. I'll offer 85. I will offer 90 pieces. Mo Yun sighed softly in his heart. This place is really a place where the weak eat the strong. Human life is inferior to a dog. It seems that here he needs to be more cautious. But it's not all good news. Judging from the price of slaves, the value of a pocket of money in his hand should be much higher than what he expected. Mo Yun noticed Elsa's strangeness, and he realized that the scene just now had also brought a lot of psychological shock to Elsa. Thinking of this, Mo Yun felt that it is possible for him to be gentle once in a while. Let's go to the front place to rest for a while, there should be food for sale there. After hearing Mo Yun's words, Elsa quickly followed behind Mo Yun. But when he walked to the front, Mo Yun suddenly found a huge notice board next to him. On the notice board, there are many wanted notices. These wanted notices are like TVs, and the people on them jump to another one after a while. But at this time, there was a wanted warrant that had not changed for a long time. This arrest warrant has black hair and black eyes, a resolute yet handsome face. Reward object, Mo Yun. Appearance, general human appearance. Black hair and black eyes, very easy to distinguish. Requirement, capture alive, the rest are not limited. Bounty, 300 silver coins. Another, anyone who participated in and successfully arrested Mo Yun will be exonerated from all common crimes committed in Huishan Market in the past, and no more than 3 people will be exonerated. Reward offerer, Master of Huishan Bazaar, Son of God, Ailes. Why did Eller's wanted notice appear in the Castro camp? Dick hurriedly replied with trepidation. The notice here belongs to a certain family. Anyone can put a notice on it as long as they can pay the price. Mo Yun was silent for a while. He suddenly realized that he had not yet entered the identity of the wilderness god. Since he was able to come to Camp Castro, why couldn't Ailes' wanted warrant appear here? Will Ailes show up at Camp Castro? Mo Yun asked Dick, which is the situation that worries him the most. Master Ellers has been sitting in Huishan Market, and he will never leave easily. Moreover, even if Lord Ellers wants to come to Huishan Market, the families here will not agree. Mo Yun carefully discerned Dick's words, and after confirming that the words were not lying to himself, he finally relaxed. Let's rest first. When we came to the restaurant in front, Mo Yun bought some food. 1 silver coin can buy 10 magic bread here. According to Dick, because God Realm wheat is one of the 2 pillar industries of Huishan Bazaar, when Shanli bread is the cheapest in Huishan Bazaar, 1 silver coin can buy 20 yuan, even when it is the most expensive. Can buy 15 yuan. While resting, Mo Yun recalled the memory of the wild gods. Thinking back now, in fact, he was more or less impressed by what Dick said along the way. Before going here, Mo Yun naturally inquired about the god of the wilderness from many people. From the mouths of many people in the mining area, very similar 3 basic rules were stated. Article 1. Abide by the rules of the game in the wild, unless you are a disorderly person. Article 2. Never provoke those lone rangers who are stronger than you, they are equal to disaster. Article 3. If you are weak, you must join the family. In the wilderness, there are actually lawful and disorderly people. The wilderness gods in the Castro camp are basically law-abiding. Even in the wilderness, there are certain rules. And those who are truly disordered are often godheads of destruction and destruction. They have never followed any order, and they have always been the most dangerous elements. The one thing that all of them have in common is that they are all lone rangers. As for the last one, it represents the game rules of the wild gods at the border of the gods. In such a dangerous place, the low-level gods can only protect themselves by grouping together. And this form of grouping is called family. The first thing Mo Yun has to do when he comes here is to join a certain family and seek their protection. After a short break, Dick volunteered to find a family that was recruiting new members for Mo Yun. Mo Yun saw what Dick was thinking, but let Dick go anyway. Because now he didn't need Dick anymore. The reason why Mo Yun took Dick with him when he left the mining area was because he needed a guide. And now the mission of the guide has been completed. Guide Dick did an excellent job, and the timely reminder on the Dragon Eagle also played a big role. If Dick chooses to leave at this time, Mo Yun will not mind. Of course, if Dick is really willing to be his subordinate, Mo Yun is also willing to accept it. Mo Yun doesn't think that cultivating a younger brother is nothing to him. If the younger brother is loyal enough, Mo Yun will definitely give him enough in return. Mo Yun turned his head and glanced at Elsa, and said, "Let's rest for another half an hour." Elsa froze for a moment. After driving such a long distance, she suddenly became exhausted after sitting down, and she couldn't even lift her body. After all, in the world of gods, a person without a godhead is equivalent to a disabled person. So she does need a break. But Elsa didn't dare to tell Mo Yun, but she didn't expect Mo Yun to speak out on her own initiative. Did he notice his strangeness? He should have noticed it. Elsa felt a tenderness from Mo Yun that she had never felt before. She felt that she should hate Mo Yun instinctively. But at this moment when she felt most insecure, gave her a little gentle comfort. She did need a little tender comfort, even if it was given by the person she hates the most. ... If Dick comes back, call me. Mo Yun entered the state of meditation, and after there were no more Huishan stones like mountains, his cultivation speed dropped rapidly. The cultivation speed in the current environment is 2.1 days, and the cultivation system multiplier is 17 times. The cultivation speed in the current environment is 35.7 days. Mo Yun knew that he would have to find a way to solve the problem of training speed in the future, but at the moment, he could only plan carefully. After entering the state of meditation, no matter the speed of cultivation or the multiplier, there will be some improvement. Seeing Mo Yun quietly closing her eyes, Elsa somehow felt relieved. She let out a long sigh of relief, lay down gently on the table, and stared at Mo Yun's face. Looking at it carefully now, this face doesn't seem so annoying, on the contrary, very handsome. If I hadn't scolded him at the beginning. Elsa remembered in a daze, when she was wandering away, Dick suddenly came back. Dick was stunned for a moment when he noticed Mo Yun who was meditating, and then called out cautiously. "Master Mo Yun, Master Mo Yun." Elsa came back to her senses and was about to wake Mo Yun up, but Dick grabbed her and made a shush gesture. "Quiet, listen to me." Dick glanced at Mo Yun and whispered, "Don't you want to run away?" Of course Elsa thought about it, she thought about it almost all the time. But the danger level of the Castro camp made her feel that she was safest by Mo Yun's side. "Are you afraid of him?" Dick followed Elsa's gaze and glanced at Mo Yun, with a coldness that had never appeared in his eyes before. "You don't have to worry anymore. Because he's about to die. If you are willing to go back to Huishan Market with me, I can let you be my divine partner, how about that?" Dick looked at Elsa's delicate face, and couldn't hide his hope in his tone. He knew why Mo Yun had to take Elsa with him all the time. If it was him, he would probably think about such a beauty all the time. Dick felt that he ventured back to Mo Yun's side, leading the way and probing were secondary, and more importantly, it was for Elsa. Elsa froze for a moment. Dick urged, "If you don't go with me, it will be too late." Elsa realized that this was a very important choice. From Dick's words, Mo Yun might encounter great danger next. But how could she be sure that Dick wasn't lying to herself? This decision was not as difficult to make as imagined. The Dick in front of him was nothing more than wanting to occupy himself. But if she had to choose between Dick and Mo Yun, she would obviously choose Mo Yun without a doubt. Elsa shook her head at Dick. "You idiot, you are looking for your own death." After Dick took a hard look at Elsa, he quickly left Mo Yun's side. After betraying Mo Yun, he will feel a strong sense of danger when staying beside Mo Yun. What's even more ridiculous is that his impulsive lust this time has not yet brought him the reward he deserved. You're not even a virgin, and you're only worth 8 silver coins. I'm going to buy 10 of them when I get my bounty. Watching Dick disappear in a hurry, Elsa turned her head to look at Mo Yun. She felt that she should wake Mo Yun to remind him of the danger. After all, she and Mo Yun are in the same boat now. It's just that Mo Yun expressed kindness, but Elsa felt like she had betrayed herself. Is it really something a holy elf would do to help an enemy who takes away his purity? Eventually, Elsa decides to wake Mo Yun up. Just when she was about to reach out to Mo Yun, she suddenly saw Mo Yun opened his eyes. You didn't fall asleep. Mo Yun showed a playful smile. Why do you think I'm asleep? Indeed, meditating leads to a state like deep sleep. However, under the divinity of Sanhuajutting, when Mo Yun is meditating, his spiritual platform is clear, and he is extremely sensitive to everything happening outside, even more clearly than when he opened his eyes. Mo Yun looked at Elsa quite satisfied, and he was very satisfied with Elsa's reaction just now. You must be thankful for the decision you just made. After saying that, Mo Yun took out a spear behind his back. In the Castro camp, there are no rough-made spears like Mo Yun's hands, and the down-and-out wilderness gods will also make weapons with tools that can be found everywhere. But such desolate wilderness gods are often the class that is underestimated in the Castro camp. It can be said that everyone in the dining room chairs looked at Mo Yun with a contemptuous attitude just now. At this time, a raging flame ignited on the spear. All the gods and people present were taken aback. At this moment, Mo Yun suddenly felt that he had begun to adapt, and even liked the style of disorderly and barbaric growth in the wasteland. He picked up the spear in his hand, pointed at the distance, and showed a sneer. In front of his hundredfold perception and the divinity of Sanhuajutting, there is nothing to hide. Blazing spear. Go! A Vulcan spear shot across a magnificent parabola, like a falling meteorite, and hit heavily on the head of Dick, who was trying to escape. Dick was nailed to the ground without even screaming. The raging fire burned Dick to ashes. Mo Yun threw a second spear. Blazing spear. Go again. This blazing spear didn't seem to be aiming at the target, as if it was shot crookedly, but when the spear fell, there was a scream, and a figure fell from a height. Obviously, this person possesses the ability of invisibility, and he claims to be able to take people's lives silently. Mo Yun then picked up the third spear. The third raging Vulcan spear was ruthlessly smashed into the ground not far away by Mo Yun, and half of the spear pierced into the soil. After a while, the ground suddenly soaked a little bright red. It was only at this time that Mo Yun realized the charm of the wilderness. Disorder. Brutal. Wild. Strength. This is the wasteland. This is the god of the wilderness. At this moment, many people sitting in the restaurant are in awe of Mo Yun. The two quickly left the restaurant. Although Dick and the two bounty hunters were killed, Mo Yun knew that he had attracted the attention of many people, and there must be new and stronger bounty hunters among them. In fact, Mo Yun himself is very clear. As long as the bounty is on, he will never be safe. If you only rely on yourself, you will eventually encounter difficulties that you cannot face. In the wasteland, you still have to abide by the rules of the game in the wasteland. It is imminent to find a reliable family to join. Mo Yun quickly compared all the recruiting families in the Castro camp, and after a brief selection, he made a decision. Arriving in front of a grocery store in Camp Castro, Mo Yun and Elsa walked in together. There are messy things in the grocery store, and 7 or 8 gods and people gather here, each doing its own thing. These people seem to have no communication with each other at all, but unexpectedly give people a sense of unity. After seeing Mo Yun and Elsa walking in, 7 or 8 pairs of eyes suddenly looked over at the same time. Do you want to buy something, entrust, or kill someone? Neither. Mo Yun said calmly, the Aman family, I want to join you. Join us. A group of people in the grocery store suddenly became excited. They walked towards Mo Yun and looked at him in a semicircle. A female goblin as small as a pea diced asked Mo Yun. What skills do you have? Our family doesn't want trash. Mo Yun picked up a spear and drove it into the ground with the blazing spear. Everyone immediately said in surprise, 100 years of divine power. And, is this the offensive power of the divine crystal? Or divinity? Okay, you can join us. The Aman family welcomes someone as powerful as you. The Aman family accepted him so easily, which was actually expected by Mo Yun. Powerful people are welcomed wherever they go. Mo Yun still has something to say. I have something to say first. I have been offered a reward. After hearing Mo Yun's words, the members of the Aman family laughed. Haha, this is the first time you have been offered a reward. Everyone here has a reward. Mo Yun was stunned for a moment. Also, he ignored the attributes of the Castro camp. In such a place that is equivalent to a green forest in the rivers and lakes, it can be said that all villains are not too much. The members of the Aman family then asked Elsa, "What about you? What kind of strength is it?" Mo Yun said indifferently, "She didn't come to join the Aman family, she is my personal belonging." Personal belongings. The expressions of the members of the Aman family were no longer as friendly as before. You tell her to take off her hat. After Elsa took off her hood, the members of the Aman family were still stunned. Even in the world of gods, such a stunning elf beauty is rare, and the unique silver hair and red pupils seem to mean that she has a very rare and precious bloodline. The women of the Aman family said with jealousy at this time. An elf without a godhead. You mean, you want to bring this burden to join us? An extra burden is very troublesome. Bread is very expensive. The men obviously have their own ideas, said. We agree that you bring your personal items to join, but you have to understand that people without godheads are just a burden, and they also need to consume divine power bread every day, which is not a small expense. If you want to use the benefits of the family to support one more useless person, you should let her serve everyone in our team. Elsa grabbed Mo Yun's clothes in a panic. She understood what the men of the Aman family meant, but she had already humiliated the noble blood of the holy elves enough. If that was the case, she would rather commit suicide. Just as Mo Yun was about to speak, he suddenly sensed hostility from outside. Mo Yun thought for a while, maybe it would be better to convince the members of the Aman family with facts. I'm sorry, everyone, please allow me to deal with some personal matters for the time being. Mo Yun took Elsa out of the grocery store, and the members of the Aman family looked at each other curiously and followed them to the door. At this time, a large rock figure was standing not far from Mo Yun. It's the bounty hunter, Johnny the Rockman. Someone in the Aman family revealed Johnny's identity. Because of his rather rare race, Johnny the Rockman was quite well known in Camp Castro, and his powerful strength and defense made him a headache for many people. Some passers-by stopped to watch. They knew that Johnny had found a new target. You are Mo Yun. Obediently, let's get caught. Otherwise, I will crush your 2 legs and 2 arms. Johnny shouted arrogantly to Mo Yun. The arrest warrant requires that he be captured alive, and the others are not limited. Then it doesn't matter if you break your limbs. Mo Yun stared at this big man who was nearly 3 meters tall and whose whole body was made of rocks. It could be seen that the other party was full of confidence in taking him down. Mo Yun showed a sneer of contempt. Although he doesn't want to provoke a more powerful bounty hunter as an opponent for the time being. But it's not a cat or a dog, anyone can step on his head. Mo Yun slowly drew out the knife, and said to Johnny, if your fist is half as hard as your mouth, then I should not be your opponent. HMPH. Courting death. Johnny strode towards Mo Yun. Its speed was not fast, but its weight was particularly astonishing. With every step it stepped on the ground seemed to shake. Then, he clasped his fists in both hands and hit Mo Yun's head heavily. Disdain appeared in Mo Yun's eyes. With such a clumsy speed, how dare you speak nonsense in front of yourself? A strong air gushed out as Mo Yun drew his sword. Cut, split mountains and rocks. At this time, Johnny the Rockman realized that he had found the wrong opponent, but after the knife light, he had no chance to speak again. The stones rolled to the ground showed that he had existed. This is the Rockman's stone. It's a good thing. The female goblin made a surprised voice. And the focus of more people's attention did not go astray like the female goblin. They stared at Mo Yun and knew it clearly. With such strength, Mo Yun already has a place here. Mo Yun turned around and said to the members of the Aman family, I create 3 times the team benefits by myself and support 2 people. Is there any problem? No problem. A tall white man stood up. He was as strong as a bear, and said gently to Mo Yun. I am Aman, the patriarch of the Aman family. You are welcome to bring your personal items to join the Aman family. Then, Aman shouted to the passers-by on the street. From today onwards, Mo Yun is a member of our Aman family. Those who dare to have ill intentions against Mo Yun, first weigh the revenge of our Aman family. Chapter 41. The grocery store is just a subcamp of the Aman family. The real camp of the Aman family is located in a valley 20 kilometers away from Castro market. At this time, in the valley, the family's oath ceremony was going on. God of the wilderness oath, here we offer sacrifices and make oaths. From now on, we will be like brothers, we will share weal and woe, we will share weal and woe. From now on, we will treat each other as family members, live and die together, and share blessings. From now on, we will protect and support each other. We will not rest till death. If there is any violation, the Godhead will be destroyed. With the disappearance of the sacrifice, Mo Yun saw several golden lights falling from the sky, falling on himself and everyone in the Aman family. At this moment, Mo Yun felt a bond between himself and the members of the Aman family. If he violated this fetter, he would be punished by the God of the wilderness oath. Mo Yun thought to himself that it is no wonder that the gods and people of the wilderness are united in the form of a family. With such an oath, there is no need to worry about family members stabbing him in the back. Welcome our newest member, Mo Yun. He brought us a gift from his silver coins, a plump God world goat. Hearing that there will be goat barbecue from the God realm in the evening, the members of the Aman family warmly welcomed Mo Yun's arrival. But Mo Yun felt that they were welcoming the roast goat more than they were welcoming themselves. At this time, a tall human came over to Mo Yun and said in a friendly way, "My name is Fine, the seventh person in charge of the Aman family. From now on, you can choose to follow me." When hearing this, seventh person, Mo Yun had the urge to laugh. The general store camp of the Aman family, together with the base camp here, has a total of 30 gods and people, plus 5 or 6 slaves bought to do odd jobs. Just like this, a seventh speaker can be selected. Seeing that Mo Yun didn't immediately agree, Finn continued to speak very familiarly. "I heard that this is the first time you have been offered a reward. Do you know that there is an unwritten rule in the wilderness?" "What rule?" Mo Yun asked curiously. "That is, the higher your bounty is, the more you prove that you are a big shot. I was offered a bounty of 120, what about you?" Mo Yun glanced at Finn, and replied very calmly, 300. Finn froze on the spot. You know, even Aman, the patriarch of the Aman family, was offered a reward of 580 silver coins, and it was the combined rewards. "What, have you done so badly?" Finn asked Mo Yun with a bit of hesitation on his face. At this time, Patriarch Aman interrupted Finn's words and announced to everyone, "From today, Mo Yun is the 10th person in charge of our Aman family, do you all understand?" "Understood. Aman arranged a house in the valley for Mo Yun as his future residence, and asked a god to lead Mo Yun there. Along the way, Mo Yun and Elsa got the attention of many gods and people, and Mo Yun also learned many things from this gods and people. When they came to the house, the god who led the way said, "Brother Mo Yun, this place will belong to you from now on, and of course your personal belongings." The gods who led the way glanced at Elsa, smiled and said to Mo Yun, "Brother Mo Yun, from today onwards, we are a family. We are as close as brothers. We must take care of each other more in the future." "Certainly." Mo Yun watched the godman leave, but a sneer appeared on the corner of his mouth. He was not deceived by the illusion of harmony on the outside of the family. Since just now, Mo Yun has been thinking about a question. That is, if the family brother dies, will the family members go to collect the bounty offered by the brother? The answer seems pretty obvious. As close as brothers. How come on the first day of joining the Aman family, Mo Yun felt that his brothers seemed to be looking forward to his death? Good to inherit your legacy. And women. Fortunately, there is still a vow that allows everyone to maintain brotherhood and harmony at least on the surface. Mo Yun turned around and said seriously to Elsa, "From today, no matter when and where, you have to be by my side. Otherwise, I'm not sure what will happen." Elsa recalled the fiery and undisguised greedy gazes of the men of the Aman family during the banquet. She nodded quickly. "Have a rest," Mo Yun said, and walked into his new home. The room is very simple, just a bed and a table. Mo Yun found a piece of animal fur on the wall, put it on the ground, and began to meditate. All the wilderness gods living in the Aman family, and even near the Castro camp, spend half of their time cultivating and the other half spending their time surviving. Cultivation is the reason why they do their best to survive. Everyone hopes to become a high-level god in the future. The Godhead characteristics of the wilderness gods are often able to absorb more elements in the wilderness environment, which is why they have to come to the wilderness to survive. But for Mo Yun, this advantage does not exist. Ding, a change in the environment has been detected. The current environment cultivation speed is 1.9 days, and the cultivation system multiplier is 15 times. The current environment cultivation speed is 28.5 days. The speed of cultivating divine power for 1 month per day. If it were someone else, I would probably be so excited that I would not be able to sleep for a few days. But for Mo Yun, who has grown his divine power for 47 years after experiencing a critical blow, it is really better than nothing. Yes, Mo Yun is a little bloated. The speed of cultivating divine power for a month every day, he is now a little despised. According to this speed, even if it is only 1 year, it will only increase the divine power for 30 years, and even if the crit system is added, it will only increase the divine power for 50 years. After 1 active crit and 1 passive crit, Mo Yun now has 130 years of divine power. The improvement of divine power for 50 years in 1 year may be very high for others, but for Mo Yun, slow. If you want to improve your divine power, you still have to find a way to get some Huishan stone or other substitutes. But now, Mo Yun decided to use his energies where he can improve his strength more effectively. He wants to gain more divinity. You can even take advantage of the initiative of the crit system. Forge a new divinity every week. What kind of new divinity to cultivate has become a new issue that Mo Yun needs to consider. Mo Yun doesn't know how others distinguish divinity. He himself decided to simply divide divinity into basic divinity and combat divinity. Basic divinity includes strength, agility, endurance, perception, vitality, fire resistance, etc. Even the attribute of speed travel, which can be used at any time, can be regarded as the basic divinity that can be developed. There is no need to say much about the fighting divinity. Chopping mountains and chopping rocks and blazing spears are typical battle divinities. Mo Yun thought for a while, and he felt that chopping mountains and rocks and blazing spear were enough for now. Now that he spends a lot of energy improving skills such as swordsmanship, even if he awakens his divinity, it is hard to say that he can replace the 560 times strengthened mountain cleave rock. And the basic divinity will definitely be useful no matter when. So, start by strengthening the basic divinity. That being the case, Mo Yun decided to start training from now on. Mo Yun, who has the divinity of 3 flowers gathering at the top, actually basically doesn't need to rest at all now. As long as he meditates in his spare time, he can feel energetic. He originally meditated and rested for a long time, the purpose of which was to absorb more divine power. But now that the efficiency of divine power improvement is too slow, time should be used in more valuable places. Mo Yun started the extreme physical training method in the room. He pressed the powerful force of cutting mountains and rocks to his body. At this time, his body was like carrying a 10-ton boulder, and 2 deep pits were pressed out of the ground by Mo Yun's hands. Elsa looked at Mo Yun cautiously. She didn't understand why Mo Yun still had so much energy just after escaping from the mining area. But she only hoped that Mo Yun would not use such energy on her. Ding. It is detected that the host has passed the test of strength, and the strength has been strengthened by 13 times. When the system sound sounded, Mo Yun found that it was already the next morning. Because his strength enhancement has reached 190 times, and the enhancement frequency produced by basic attribute training is much lower than that of martial arts training. So much so that after torturing himself for a night, Mo Yun only got this strengthening. Mo Yun also felt that it was very inefficient. If there was an active critical strike opportunity, he would definitely use it without hesitation. Mo Yun woke up Elsa and came to the valley. The Aman family has been running this place for many years, so there is naturally a place for practice and training. The place of practice is on the mountain peak. There is wind blowing from the wasteland, and many godheads who need the wasteland will absorb more relevant elements. The training place is at the bottom of the valley. Here, the Aman family has also prepared many facilities and tools, which can be seen in various training methods. What makes Mo Yun feel regretful is that the heaviest boulder roller used for strength training here is only about 20,000 catties, which is far less efficient than when he oppresses the power of cutting mountains and rocks on himself. However, there are also some training methods that Mo Yun finds quite interesting, such as tens of thousands of bells arranged within 100 meters, which seem to be used to exercise perception. Mo Yun asked Elsa to ring the bell and use her perception to identify the direction. But he regretted to find that such training was worthless to himself, who possessed the Sanhua jutting divinity and 100-fold perception. It seems that the best training method he can find at present is still strength training. While Mo Yun was doing strength training, a family member suddenly ran in from outside the valley. He yelled to Ji Yun, "Brother Wu is hunting a wild boar, can anyone help?" Mo Yun turned over and jumped up from the ground, thinking. Half of the Aman family rests every day, and the other half is responsible for hunting, completing commissions and other things necessary for survival. Since Mo Yun was new on his first day, he was given the privilege of taking a break. Of course, when encountering a special crisis, everyone in the family must also stop resting and participate in the battle. However, hunting the monster god wild boar is not particularly dangerous. But Mo Yun suddenly had an idea in his mind. He recalled that when he was fighting Gandy, he triggered 2 vitality enhancements. It must be known that the entire battle was not long at that time, and the vitality had already awakened the divinity, so it was not easy to get strengthened again. But in the short course of the battle, it was strengthened twice. It was all because at that time, Gandy cut countless wounds on his body, and he was quickly repaired under the divinity of the surging life. In a short period of time, the potential of life force was greatly stimulated. So, is there a similar way of motivating power? Perhaps the speed of basic divinity training has never been slower than that of martial arts training. It's because I didn't find the right trick. I go. Mo Yun volunteered to stand up. Brother Ten, it's great that you are willing to go, Brother Ten. The family member who reported the letter said in surprise. Brother Ten. Mo Yun was stunned for a moment, and suddenly remembered that he was the 10th speaker of the Aman family. It seemed that the Wang Yuan family was like a row of seats on the top of a mountain, and the seniority was judged by the seat. If it's correct, Brother Ten should be calling him himself. Who else is going? The messenger shouted again. Mo Yun said lightly. No one else is needed, it's enough for me to go alone. The person who reported the letter was taken aback, and hurriedly said, Brother Ten, that wild boar is extremely powerful. What I want is infinite power. If it is not for infinite power, I will not go there. Soon, Mo Yun came to the hunting place with Elsa in his arms. The family members were a little surprised to see Mo Yun's arrival. Brother Ten is here. Here he is, he hasn't forgotten to bring a burden with him. The family's 8th speaker, a snake woman, looked coldly at Elsa in Mo Yun's arms. She hates Elsa very much. Since Elsa appeared, all the men in the family seemed to be fascinated. In the past, these men were all around her to flatter her. At this time, the family members who reported the letter rushed over, and he brought the 2 of them, looking at Mo Yun's back panting, and couldn't help but secretly sigh. The new 10th brother is really amazing. He still walks so fast with someone in his arms, and seems to slow down deliberately to wait for them. After putting down Elsa, Mo Yun observed the situation here. A total of 10 gods and people participated in the hunting of the Aman family, which is almost 1/3 of the power of the Aman family. At this time, Scherer, who is ranked 5th in the family, is leading a group of people to hunt a huge wild boar that looks like an elephant. It is one of the great threats that exist in the wasteland. Monster god. Most of these monster gods are descendants of some demon gods. The ancient demon gods of the gods' world spread their descendants throughout the gods' world by means of reproduction. However, there are also a small number of beasts who were summoned to the gods by the wilderness temple and accidentally obtained godheads. Apparently, Scherer and his group forced the monster god wild boar to this mountain pass, and the snake girl Sevis, the 8th person in the family, led 2 family members to block the only way out. This monster god has been driven to death. Schuyler led a group of people to try to subdue it, but the monster god wild boar has entered a state of complete madness. It exudes a strong black demonic energy all over its body, and the huge force collides with everyone reeling. After seeing this monster boar, Mo Yun was overjoyed. This is exactly what he wanted to see. Get out of the way. Let me do it. Mo Yun strode up. Sheila turned his head and was stunned when he saw it was Mo Yun, but he still moved out of the way. He has already been swept away by this giant wild boar 3 times, and since Mo Yun wants to come, he doesn't mind letting the new Ten suffer. Get out of the way, didn't you hear what old Ten said? After hearing Xie Li's words, the family members quickly moved away. They had already realized that Sheila wanted to give the newcomer 11 a blow. The wild boar, the monster god, got out of control and rushed towards Mo Yun immediately. Mo Yun drew out his long knife. Split mountains and rocks. But it is not beheading, but shooting. Mo Yun met the monster god wild boar with the back of his knife, and the two collided violently. The monster god wild boar paused for a moment, as if his head was a little dizzy from the impact, and Mo Yun also took 3 steps back, feeling extremely joyful in his heart. The strength of this wild boar is not perfect for training, but it is almost the same. Although the family members couldn't clearly see Mo Yun's slapping movement with the back of the knife, they naturally cheered loudly when they saw Mo Yun force the wild boar to stop. But Snake Serves made a disdainful voice. A mighty blow, just this bit of power. It's useless. With extremely high perception, Mo Yun caught Snake Girl's words from a distance. Mo Yun sneered in his heart, how could the Snake Girl understand her own thoughts? Under the watchful eyes of everyone, Mo Yun stuck the long knife in his hand to the ground. The family members were dumbfounded for a moment, and shouted one after another. What is Brother Ten going to do? Couldn't he be crazy? Snake Serves said in disgust. Then, Mo Yun strode forward and grabbed the 2 fangs of the monster god porcupine with both hands. He's really crazy. He's looking for death. Snake Serves's expression turned cold. Don't he know that something went wrong, and he needs us to help him finish it? I just joined the family, of course I'm eager to show off. Xerer in the distance seemed to be echoing Seves, and he said to the crowd, since the old Ten said to let us all get out of the way, then we should let him perform for a while. Naturally, the family members did not dare to disobey their opinions, and besides, they were not very familiar with the new 10th brother. Ah! The monster wild boar god began to sprint forward. Mo Yun stepped on the ground with both feet, and was dragged out of 2 dents that were pressed like caterpillars. It was not until he was about to be knocked out that Mo Yun slammed his hand knife. Cut, split mountains and rocks. Fortunately, hand knives can also be used with knives, but the power is much smaller than that of long knives, but this is exactly what Mo Yun needs. The monster god wild boar was a little dizzy after being hacked, which made Mo Yun heave a sigh of relief. Poor me. Taking advantage of this moment, Mo Yun snapped the fangs of the monster god wild boar, intending to overturn it to the ground, but how could the monster god wild boar make Mo Yun do what he wanted, and the two started a new round of wrestling. And just when the wrestling was in full swing, the system's voice finally sounded. Ding! It is detected that the host has passed the test of strength. The strength has been strengthened by 19 times. Mo Yun froze for a moment. He was so engrossed in wrestling that he even forgot what his purpose was in the first place. Really, he guessed right. Strong external stimulation can fully stimulate the potential of basic attributes. However, under this distraction, the monster god wild boar found an opportunity and knocked Mo Yun to the ground, and the surrounding family members immediately let out a burst of exclamation. But then, Mo Yun turned over beautifully, taking advantage of the old power of the monster god wild boar was gone, and the new power was not born, and he also overturned it to the ground. The family members' eyes widened suddenly, and another exclamation sounded. However, the wild boar god with rough skin and thick flesh immediately got up, and Mo Yun also readjusted his posture, taking off his cumbersome top, revealing his perfect muscles. Come again. Serves the snake was already stunned, and after a while, she murmured, "What a lunatic." The wrestling went on for more than half an hour. Whether it is Mo Yun or the monster god wild boar, the power will not be exhausted in a short time. After all, this is the world of gods. But this is exactly what Mo Yun is happy to see. The longer he wrestles, the more strengthening he gets. Of course, the family members didn't want to wait that long, but when they wanted to help, they were all coldly dismissed by Mo Yun. Looking at Mo Yun, who is more like a monster than the wild boar god, the family members dare not touch Mo Yun's bad luck. After all, among the gods of the wilderness, the most indispensable thing is a lunatic with a weird personality. Mo Yun, who is enjoying it, naturally doesn't want people to disturb him. Up to now, he has strengthened his strength twice, and the value of this extreme strengthening is very high. The 2 times added up to a full 37 times of strengthening, even worth 3 times of training. Now, Mo Yun's strength enhancement has reached a full 240 times. Mo Yun has a premonition that the 3rd power enhancement is coming soon. And 9 times out of 10, this power strengthening can strengthen the divinity. If possible, Mo Yun hopes that this time the enhancement can be a critical strike. It seems that it has been a long time since the last random enhanced critical strike. Mo Yun used all his strength to push against each other with the monster god wild boar, and the monster god wild boar almost exhausted all his strength angrily. At this moment, a voice finally sounded. Ding! It is detected that the host has passed the test of strength. The strength has been strengthened by 21 times. Give me a crit, Mo Yun shouted in his heart, but to his disappointment, this time the chance of up to 21 times did not seem to trigger a critical strike, but divinity was still born. Ding! Congratulations to the host for obtaining the 1st level divinity, the power of the rock. Mo Yun felt the strength of his body, which was as thick as a rock. This feeling is almost exactly the same attribute as the power that appears in the blade when using mountain slashing rock. However, I feel that this power is not as strong as in the knife when cutting mountains and rocks. But Mo Yun is satisfied. After all, this is the divinity of the basic attribute. If he can have the power of splitting mountains and cutting rocks, wouldn't it be awesome? However, at this moment, the system prompt sounded again. Ding! You have triggered the 10 times critical strike system, and the critical strike multiplier is 12 times. Mo Yun froze for a moment. Crit hit. Is it a power enhanced crit? But why didn't there be a critical strike just now, but why did it suddenly strike again at this time? The answer will be revealed soon. Ding! Elementary divinity. The power of the rock is additionally strengthened by 11 times, and it evolves into the elementary divinity, the power of the mountain. Mo Yun couldn't help swearing again, and he was stunned. He has always thought that only strengthening can make a critical strike. I never expected that when I got divinity, I could get a critical strike. If it wasn't for this random trigger, he might have been kept in the dark for a long time. This storm can make a lot of money. Mo Yun knows that this time the critical strike is definitely more profitable than the power-enhanced critical strike. Power as thick as a mountain spewed out from every muscle in Mo Yun's body, and he could even clearly feel that the strength of the rock just now was not even the strength of an arm now. Just standing here, he felt as thick as a mountain. As solid as a mountain. The mountain makes people look up. The monster god wild boar suddenly discovered that the force that was originally evenly matched, or even dominant, seemed to have changed at this time, but no matter how it resisted, the human in front of him did not move at all. Not to be outdone, it exerted extra force. Get up. Mo Yun smiled softly, grabbed the head of the monster god wild boar with both hands, and lifted the monster god wild boar high with the horrified eyes of a family member, and then smashed it heavily on the ground. Boom! There was a loud noise, and a large pit with a radius of several meters appeared in everyone's field of vision. The wild boar god in the center of the pit was panting, looking at Mo Yun with tired eyes. It seems to be saying, "Change casually, I won't play with you anymore." The monster god wild boar seems to think that Mo Yun, who has such a powerful power, has been pretending to be a pig and eating a tiger just now. Since you have such great power, why bother to pretend to be struggling? It's already like this, wouldn't it be over if I lay down and slaughtered it for you? Seeing that the wild boar god was determined to die, Mo Yun also decisively picked up the long knife stuck in the ground, and respectfully killed the other party's life with a knife, and at the same time expressed his strong gratitude in his heart. What a powerful force. Brother 10, you are so strong. Brother 10, this is the first time I've seen someone capture the wild boar god in this way. Family members uttered praises one after another. But the 5th Shiler and the 8th Sevas were quite dissatisfied. It is obvious that they have found the monster god with all their efforts, and they are the ones who blocked it on this mountain pass. As a result, under Mo Yun's hunting performance for a show, the credit seemed to be his alone. He must have done it on purpose. Shearer and Snake Maiden Sevas obviously thought of something, and they looked at Mo Yun with faint hostility. Mo Yun noticed these two hostile gazes almost immediately, and after a little thought, he began to think about it. At this time, the family members gathered around Mo Yun, respectfully said, "Brother 10, follow the rules. The person with the highest hunting contribution can take the most precious thing from the prey. The heart of the monster god wild boar is the most precious. Brother 10, take it away. The heart is the most precious." Mo Yun was stunned for a moment, thinking to himself that luckily he just subconsciously thought of killing pigs and bleeding them, so the last knife to end the monster god wild boar was slashed in the neck. If it pierced the heart, wouldn't it be a waste of a good thing? The body of the dead monster god wild boar shrank a lot, and the size of the original elephant body became only the size of a calf. Mo Yun listened to family members explain that this is its original size, and it is the ability of the wild boar god to grow bigger. They also told Mo Yun that a monster god wild boar of this size was already the limit size that the Aman family could hunt safely. Mo Yun cut open the belly of the wild boar god, and took out a pig's heart the size of 2 hands. Brother 10, this is a good thing. The family members looked enviously at the pig's heart in Mo Yun's hand and said, "This size, eating it can give you at least 3 months of supernatural power. It's a pity that it is not a monster god with a godhead, otherwise it is the real best." Godhead. Mo Yun naturally knows that there are some beasts who have obtained the godhead and become monster gods, but they seem to be quite rare. He asked curiously, "If you kill a monster god with a godhead, can you get a godhead?" A group of people looked at Mo Yun strangely, and said, "Whether it is a god or a monster with a godhead, after death, the godhead will return to the sea of godheads in the nearest temple. This 10th brother is very powerful, but why doesn't he even know the most basic common sense that a god knows?" This is really not to blame Mo Yun. He didn't get the proper inheritance from the gods and people, and naturally he didn't know anything about the common sense of these gods and people. Everyone carried the wild boar god back to the camp, discussing how to eat the pig's heart in Mo Yun's hand along the way. Brother 10, you have to pay attention to eating supernatural food. You must not eat this pig's heart in one go. For such a big one, you should eat it at least 4 times, with 5 days between each time. You'd better divide it into 6. Let's eat this time. Although it can be eaten cooked, it will lose a small amount of divine power. It's best to eat a piece now. Brother 10, try it, it tastes great. Looking at the bloody pig's heart, Mo Yun really didn't think it tasted so good. However, thinking of the exhilaration of daily settlement of divine power in the cultivation system, Mo Yun felt that no matter how bad its original taste is, it should feel comfortable to eat. 3 months of divine power, if you divide it into 6 meals. In fact, even if it is a critical strike, the divine power gained is nothing to him. Compared with eating, this pig heart is obviously of higher value. Mo Yun almost thought of the correct use of this pig's heart. Back in the valley, both Scheller and Service said they would report the hunting of the monster god wild boar to Patriarch Aman. Mo Yun almost saw through the minds of the two of them. They obviously wanted to put more credit on themselves, so that in case Aman asked, the family members would all say that it was their own credit. Their cronies left with Scheller, leaving the moving tools to Mo Yun and the rest. This behavior is very much like the leaders of some organizations on Blue Mercury who say, "I will take credit for it, and you will do the hard work." Mo Yun turned his head and saw Elsa and 6 family members in total. 6 family members are not many, but considering that there are only about 30 gods in the entire Aman family, 6 people are already 1/5 of them. Mo Yun weighed the heart of the monster god wild boar in his hand, and said to the 6 people, "Do you want to eat this thing?" The 6 people were stunned for a moment, and hurriedly said, "Don't dare, Brother 10, this thing belongs to you. Since it's mine, then I naturally want to deal with it, and I'll deal with it like this." Mo Yun said to several people, "As long as you do one thing for me, it will be yours, how about it? As long as Brother 10 tells us, we will naturally do anything." Several people said, but they couldn't help looking at the pig's heart in Mo Yun's hand, and swallowed their saliva. Well, after whispering a few words with a few people, Mo Yun threw the pig's heart to them, and said with a smile, "Let's share and eat." These family members quickly took the heart of the wild boar god, divided it into 6 pieces, and ate them each. Some people eat very wildly, biting down, the mouth is full of blood. Some people eat very artistically, first drink up the heart blood, then cut into small pieces little by little, chew and taste slowly. Seeing how greedy these people are still licking their fingers after eating, Mo Yun was even shaken. Raw pig heart. Can it really be this delicious? But come to think of it, what they ate was not pig hearts, but the most important, divine power, for the gods. Mo Yun said lightly, in the future, I will need your help with some things. As long as you help me do things, there will be more benefits, and there will be many more. Brother Ten, you are so generous. Several tribe members praised one after another. After hunting a monster god wild boar, the Aman family will naturally enjoy a pork feast at night. However, compared to the blue mercury, the most valuable thing on the monsters and gods in the god realm is their organs. The value of the organs varies depending on the source of the monster's power. Generally speaking, the most precious is the heart or the brain. These organs will be sold by the Aman family in exchange for the supplies the family needs, and the relatively cheap meat from the monster god will become the staple food of the dinner. More than half of the toast. A family member suddenly stood up and said to Aman, Patriarch, I think the seat is a bit low with Brother Ten's strength. The position should be raised by at least 2 levels. At this time, several people immediately echoed. Yeah, it should be raised 2 more levels. At this time, all the eyes of the Aman family were focused on Mo Yun. Mo Yun showed a surprised expression, and said to Patriarch Aman, I just became a member of the family. I didn't expect everyone to love you so much. Brother Aman, to be honest, I don't even understand the meaning of upgrade 2 levels. Act, really good at acting. A sneer sounded, and it was Shearer who was sitting in the 5th seat who made the sound. Scheller coldly exposed Mo Yun's lies. Old Ten, you haven't said what kind of Godhead you are yet. You are so good at acting, so you don't have a deceitful Godhead, right? HMPH, you don't understand the meaning of raising 2 levels. 5th brother, you are slandering me. I am new here, and I have just figured out what the 10th person is. Thoughts? Mo Yun responded calmly. In fact, it doesn't matter what Shearer said, because everyone knew it. Patriarch Aman finally spoke. Mo Yun has just become a member of our family, maybe the position of the 10th person is really low for him. However, he is just here. After a few days, it will be too late to improve Mo Yun's seat depending on his merits. Brother Aman is right. Mo Yun was the first to stand up to agree with Aman's words, and the others couldn't say anything more after seeing this. However, Mo Yun's words were not finished yet. Brother Aman, although I don't really care about the seating arrangement, what happened just now gave me some thoughts. Say it. I think that since the rank can be raised within the family, the rules should be clarified. What kind of situation can raise the seat, and what kind of contribution has been made to the family, you can sit on a position. In this way, the brothers in the family will have something to look forward to. Brother Aman, don't you think so? That's right. The person who spoke was not Aman, but a woman sitting side by side with Aman. She was a human woman, a mature, intelligent and dignified beauty. Mo Yun knew that her name was Julie. She was the consort of Patriarch Aman, and also the second person in charge of Aman's family. Although she is the second speaker, everyone calls her eldest sister or sister-in-law. Julie said to Aman, I think it makes sense to arrange seats according to contribution. If our Aman family wants to become stronger, we must have such good rules. But Julie changed the subject and looked at Mo Yun with eyes full of wisdom. But Old Ten, you just came here, and you don't have accumulated a lot of contributions like other brothers and sisters. If you want to improve your seat, you have to make more contributions to the family in the days to come. Second sister is right. Shearer was the first to utter a voice of approval. His godhead was called Beast Hunter. 1/3 of the Aman family's income comes from the monsters, gods and beasts he led to hunt. In terms of contribution, few people can compare with him. After Shiela finished speaking, he looked at Mo Yun provocatively and said, Old Ten, you have to work harder in the future to contribute to the family. Mo Yun said with a smile, I also think what the eldest sister said is right. I will definitely make more contributions to the family. After finishing speaking, Mo Yun looked at Shiela with a smile, which made Shiela feel a little flustered. But Scheller immediately felt that he was making a fuss. He has been hunting for the Aman family for 20 years, and has accumulated countless contributions. How can you lose with a contribution that is enough to ride your face? The next day, Sheila and others who were in charge of leading the hunting team yesterday, according to the family's regulations, can rest and practice today. According to the past practice of the Aman family, the person leading the hunting team today should be fine, who is the seventh speaker. But Finn is not good at hunting. Therefore, when he leads the team, the harvest is often much lower than that of Sharer, who has the beast hunting god, and sometimes he can only collect some resources, and no monsters are hunted at all. Old 10. You can go hunting with us today. I will tell you some precautions for hunting monster gods in the wasteland. Perhaps it was because the amount of the reward was not even half of Mo Yun's. Fine was very polite to Mo Yun, and even vaguely meant to let Mo Yun take over. Mo Yun also noticed this. After all, there are only about 30 gods and people in the Aman family, and there are 10 seats in line for such a small number of people. Not everyone should take it too seriously. Brother Finn, I will be more indebted to you for taking care of me in the future. After all, Mo Yun said to everyone, don't worry, I will definitely bring the monsters and beasts that everyone caught. Old 10, don't be too persistent. In fact, even Shiler doesn't get something every time, and how can the monster god be so easy to deal with? If it doesn't work, we just collect some supplies and bring them back to the family. Safety is the most important thing. What Finn said was right, only living is worthy of talking about other things. On the dangerous wasteland, you can't take it lightly. A group of people set off, looking for traces of monsters and beasts through various traces. Soon, everyone found out. It's the monster hare. Finn pointed to a few pig-sized rabbits in the distance. With these few monster hares, we should be able to make a difference when we go back today. Mo Yun patted Finn on the shoulder and pointed out. It's not just a rabbit, there's a big guy too. Finn looked in the direction Mo Yun pointed, and seemed to see nothing, but suddenly, a faint Black Panther figure appeared on the rock, and then disappeared in an instant. It's the shadow leopard, the monster god. Finn took a deep breath. Old 10, if you didn't point it out, we'd all be finished. Monster god shadow leopard is not something we can hunt, let's get out of here quickly. Leave? Why are you leaving? Mo Yun was worried that he couldn't find someone who could stimulate the potential of the basic attributes, so he couldn't wait to say, leave it to me. Old 10. Never. Fine quickly grabbed Mo Yun, but was dodged by Mo Yun. He quickly shouted. Our Aman family can't hunt the shadow leopard yet. If we are not careful, we may fall. Don't worry, I'm sure. Seeing that Mo Yun had made up his mind, Fine could only remind him. The shadow leopard has a very strange divinity, and can hide in the shadows to make a surprise attack. The last time Shiler overreached and sacrificed 2 family brothers, he escaped a disaster. You must be careful. Thank you for the reminder. You stay away, I will solve it by myself. Speaking of Sharer, Mo Yun has no reason to give up the shadow leopard. However, is it really as strong as Finn said? Of course, Mo Yun is not trying to be brave again. If his observations are correct, the strength of this shadow leopard monster god should be about the same as the previous monster god wild boar. But what Finn said is so scary, Mo Yun will not take it lightly. At this time, as Mo Yun approached, the shadow leopard seemed to be aware of it. It moved slightly, and its entire body completely disappeared from sight. Since the shadow leopard couldn't be seen with his eyes, Mo Yun simply closed his eyes, and then exclaimed in his heart. Sure enough, the combination of Mo Yun's 100-fold perception and the Sanhua jutting divinity couldn't capture its location. But it's too early to say goodbye. Mo Yun didn't think he would be killed by the shadow leopard, the worst outcome would be to run away in embarrassment. Mo Yun focused on everything around him. Suddenly, like a leaf falling into the calm water, Mo Yun felt a ripple. Hey! The sharp claws that suddenly appeared pierced the air and rushed towards Mo Yun. Just when the hearts of the family members raised their throats, Mo Yun turned his body sideways and dodged the claws. Amazing! It even escaped. The family members were all amazed. Last time they learned that Mo Yun was powerful enough to rival the wild boar god. This time Mo Yun unexpectedly showed quite strong perception and agility. How many cards does he have? Missing a hit, the shadow panther disappeared into the shadows again, but it became more cautious and more dangerous. All this made Mo Yun extremely excited. A strong sense of crisis urges every part and every cell of his body to be active. His body is tense to the extreme, and he responds to everything around him at any time. His perception has also expanded to the extreme, and he can perceive even small changes around him like ants moving gravel. Come again. Sensing that the Shadow Panther was attacking again, Mo Yun sideways dodged again. The family members exclaimed again. ... Ding. It is detected that the host has passed the test of perception. The perception is strengthened by 25 times. Ding. It is detected that the host has passed the test of agility. The agility has been strengthened by 17 times. In just 10 minutes, Mo Yun received a perception enhancement and an agility enhancement respectively. His two basic attributes have been around 100 times for a long time, because there has been a lack of external pressure and the effect of training is minimal. At this moment, Mo Yun can be sure that he has completely found the key to strengthen the divinity of the basic attributes. However, he also missed. The shadow leopard hit him once, but the divinity of the surging life was unexpectedly easy to use, and he recovered from the injury in a short period of time. Sensing a slight change, Mo Yun drew out his long knife and slashed forward. The power of the mountain. Split mountains and rocks. After merging two divine powers, a slash cut the earth into a gully, and the shadow leopard was even frightened out of the shadows, looking at Mo Yun in horror. Mo Yun swung his knife and rushed towards the shadow leopard. Want to run? I haven't practiced enough yet. Half an hour later, Mo Yun looked at the shadow leopard who was accidentally beheaded by himself, and sighed regretfully. The perception has been strengthened 3 times in total, and the agility has been strengthened twice, which is still far away from strengthening the divine nature. Brother Leopard, you should wait until I am about to lose my mind before you die. It's okay, why hit me with a knife? If the shadow leopard knew what Mo Yun was thinking at this time, maybe he would really be so angry that he would come back to life. At this time, the family members finally dared to gather around. They recalled the scene just now, and couldn't wait to praise. Brother Ten, you are so strong. You can even kill the shadow leopard. Brother Ten, you are too powerful. Old Ten, it seems that your seat really needs to be mentioned, at least you have to be above me. As Finn said, looking at the shadow leopard's body, he murmured, this time we've made a fortune. Old Ten, do you know? The value of this shadow leopard is fully 20 times that of the wild boar god. 20 times? Are there so many? Mo Yun was a little surprised. Of course, the difficulty of hunting the shadow leopard is more than 20 times that of the wild boar god. Unfortunately, if this leopard's skin is not cut into 2 pieces, the value of this shadow leopard should be 30 times that of the wild boar god. According to the rules, Old Ten, you can take away one of the most precious things from the shadow leopard. The most precious thing on the shadow leopard used to be the skin, but now the skin is broken. You can choose between the skin and the liver, Old Ten. Then the liver will be healed. Mo Yun removed the liver of the shadow leopard. According to everyone, although the liver of the shadow leopard can only increase the divinity for about 20 days, since it is the source of the shadow power of the shadow leopard, after eating it, it can strengthen many basic attributes and increase the progress of obtaining divinity. So its value is 10 times that of the boar god's heart. Improve the progress of obtaining divinity. Mo Yun took out a knife, cut a small piece, and threw it into his mouth. The bloody taste is really not bad. Mo Yun tasted it for a while. Gained about 0.3 divine power, and it seems to have slightly strengthened the basic attributes, most of which are agility. Compared with the strengthening system, this kind of strengthening is really far behind. It's really useless for me, but for others. Mo Yun raised his head, looked at the envious and greedy eyes of Finn and other family members, and handed over the leopard liver. You take it and share it. No, Old Ten. This is the shadow leopard you killed so hard, how can we? Mo Yun said lightly. It's okay, as long as everyone hunts with me in the future, there will be many such things. Finn froze for a moment. What Mo Yun meant, could it mean that he still planned to continue hunting? In the family's training ground, the 5th speaker of the Aman family, Shiler, was like a cheetah, shuttling through all kinds of obstacles, and completed a lap in a short period of time. Brother Scheller, you are getting faster and faster. 2 cronies came to Shearer with towels and water and complimented Shearer. Shearer smiled triumphantly, wiping his sweat with a towel. According to this progress, he will be able to obtain divinity in another 30 years at most. You must know that Potter, the 3rd speaker in the family, has 200 years of divine power, but he still has no divinity. It is so sad that I have been unable to break through to become the son of God. At this time, from the mouths of two cronies, Shearer suddenly heard a name he didn't want to hear. Brother Scheller, that Mo Yun. HMPH. An idiot. Shearer sneered. Boss Aman obviously gave him face. He said that he would raise his seat after a while, but he insisted on talking about his contribution. Big sister Julie is still full of wisdom. Let him lift a rock and shoot her in the foot. Not only does it erase the matter of raising the seat, but also asks him to work hard for the family. Tell me, he is not stupid. Ha ha ha, how stupid. The two cronies and Scherer burst out laughing, and Scherer, who had just undergone extreme training, almost lost his breath from laughing. For some reason, a confidant suddenly had a strange feeling, and he couldn't help but say, Brother Sheila, if what happens? Just in case. A joke, never anything in case. Sheila glanced at his little brother coldly, and snorted coldly. What I have is a beast hunter. What is he? He's not even a fart. He doesn't even have a single person around him who can track and find a monster god. I bet they won't get anything today. Brother Schuyler is right, the hunting team must not have gained anything today. As soon as the words fell, suddenly there was a shout from the entrance of the valley. Report, Brother 10 caught a monster god shadow leopard. Shadow leopard. Schuyler was almost choked to death, and said coldly, Are you kidding me? Does he, Mo Yun, know what a shadow leopard is? Shouldn't he catch a shadow cat and say it's a shadow leopard? At this time, Aman and the others who heard the movement in the valley also walked towards the entrance. When they saw the shadow leopard carried by the four returned people, everyone including Scherer was speechless. It's really a shadow leopard. It's been a long time since I caught such a precious prey. It's been at least 5 years. The members of the family sighed with emotion. This time, the family has made a small fortune. Patriarch Aman was also extremely happy, and asked the 4 people who were carrying the shadow leopard, Where is the old 10? Brother 10 said he still wants to hunt, so let's send the shadow leopard back first. Want to hunt? Is one shadow leopard not enough? The family members were all stunned. What are you hunting for? With such a precious prey, wouldn't it be over when you come back to celebrate? This guy. Scherer's breathing has become abnormal, and he feels a little tight in the chest and out of breath. For a god man, physical discomfort is quite rare. Just as the family members were commenting one after another, 2 more family members suddenly ran over. Report, Brother Mo Yun found another monster with fangs and tigers. He asked us to come back and get some people to go over and prepare to bring the fangs and tigers back. Scheller didn't hold his breath, and lay down covering his chest. Brother Scheller. When the sun set, the members of the Aman family looked at the prey placed in the camp, and all of them were speechless. Shadow leopard, tusk tiger, cave snake, yu fox. The value of any one of these 4 monster gods is at least 20 times that of the monster god wild boar. Patriarch, this time we are rich. Brother 10 is too powerful. We must have a good celebration tonight. At this moment, Mo Yun is undoubtedly the brightest star of the night. Aman had already prepared the dinner party. At the beginning of the dinner, Aman announced to everyone. I said yesterday that the position of the 10th speaker is a bit lower for Mo Yun, and now it seems that it is true. I decided to raise Mo Yun's seat. Immediately there was a voice of agreement from the audience. Yes, with the strength of Brother Mo Yun, the 10th place is too low. That's right, Brother Mo Yun is a righteous man. He's also strong. I think he should mention at least 3 or 5 people. After hearing these words, Scheller was so angry that he almost fell ill again. These fools used to follow behind me for so long. As a result, Mo Yun has only been here for 1 day, and he was bought by Mo Yun, with no loyalty at all. It's just a bunch of fools who just follow the wind. He couldn't help but stood up and said, But brother, even if Mo Yun hunted 4 precious beasts today. But according to the rules set by the eldest sister yesterday, the contribution value of the old 10 should not have reached the level of promotion. Aman said boldly, It doesn't matter. With Mo Yun's ability, it will be a matter of time before you get promoted. It is better to be promoted early than later. If you want to be promoted, then you should just be promoted today. Mo Yun secretly marveled at Aman's magnanimity in mind. He chose the Aman family because of many considerations, one of which was the character of the head of the family, Aman. Now it seems that Patriarch Aman is more generous than he expected. Aman announced, "I declare that starting today, Mo Yun will be the 8th speaker of the Aman family. The original 8th speaker will become the 9th speaker. Thank you, Patriarch, for your love." Mo Yun immediately stood up and thanked Aman. In Mo Yun's view, as Aman said, it will be a matter of time before he gets promoted. But in fact, the 8th position does not satisfy him. But Mo Yun is not in a hurry. For the gods, the most important thing is time. As for now, Mo Yun said respectfully, "Patriarch, I heard that the snake gall of the monster god cave snake can eliminate pain and relieve curses. I want to give you this snake gall as a gift, and I hope you don't refuse." Mo Yun took out the gall of the cave snake and came to Aman. According to the rules, he can take one of the most precious things from each of the 4 prey. The most precious thing of cave snakes is snake gall. Mo Yun knew that Aman would not refuse, because Aman was haunted by a curse. "Since you are sincere, then I will accept it." Aman took the cave snake's gall and swallowed it directly. Afterwards, Mo Yun smiled and looked at the elder sister Julie. "I heard that the fur of Yu Fox is not only beautiful, but also has many special functions. Please allow me to dedicate it to you." Julie glanced at Mo Yun coldly. "I can't afford to wear such a fine fur, but since you gave it to me, I'll sell it and use it as the family's operating capital." "How you use the fur is your right, ma'am," Mo Yun finally said. "I heard that the tiger bone of the Fang tiger has many wonderful uses. Not only can it be used to forge weapons, it seems that it can also be used to brew divine wine. Patriarch, if possible, I hope to distribute it to every member of the family." Quote. Aman smiled and said, "Just like what you said just now, this is the spoil you deserve, and how you share it is your right." At this time, the family cheered after hearing that they could also get a share of tiger bones. Of course not everyone is happy. For example, from the 8th speaker to the 9th Sevas. And Scheller, who is always hostile to Mo Yun. Seeing the heated atmosphere, Mo Yun turned to Aman again and said, "Patriarch, I have a proposal." "What proposal?" "I think it's time for the family to expand." Expansion. Snake Sevas finally found a chance to vent her dissatisfaction. She interrupted Mo Yun. "The number of people in the family is deliberately maintained at the current number. Do you know how much resources need to be increased after there are more people?" "That's right. Don't think that you are lucky to hunt 4 precious monster gods today, so you think you can dictate the development of the family." Schuyler immediately followed suit. Aman also said, "Mo Yun, although you have just been promoted, you have to understand that maintaining a family is not easy. Julie knows this best." Just like a normal couple, Aman and Julie are also Aman outside and Julie inside. Julie is in charge of all the internal affairs of the Aman family. Mo Yun looked at this tall and dignified woman, and Julie's expression was as cold as snow. "Expansion is not impossible, but can you guarantee that you will have the same harvest as today?" "If you can try it, you will know," Mo Yun said calmly. "Starting today, I hope that the family can completely entrust the hunting to me. Although I can't guarantee that I can hunt 4 monster gods every day like today, I can guarantee at least 1. The family members started talking immediately. "At least 1 per day. This is much better than Big Brother Scheller." After hearing Mo Yun's words, Scheller's lungs almost exploded, and he shouted, "I will leave it to you every day." "Then what should I do?" But Finn laughed and said, "Old 5. When you pushed the hunting to me before, didn't you say that going hunting every day is too tiring and too unfair?" Scherer was choked and speechless. It is true that his beast hunting personality would absorb more elements while hunting, but he still needs time to train to acquire divinity. Mo Yun glanced at Sheila, and said, "Fifth brother, although I really want to spend a day with you alone, but the monster god is related to the interests of the family, and this matter cannot be sloppy. How about this? I'll be responsible for 6 days a week, and leave 1 day for you." Too much deception. Sheila gritted his teeth. If his animal hunting Godhead couldn't participate in the hunt, wouldn't everyone be gone? Mo Yun is trying to push himself to a dead end. But at this time, Patriarch Aman said something for Scherer. "Otherwise, how about the 2 of you hunting together?" "Okay, together. But there is one thing, you have to make your own contributions." Mo Yun looked at Julie. "Sister, are you right?" Julie said lightly, I haven't agreed to expand yet. Although these monsters and gods are valuable, it will take a lot of time to sell them. And recruiting new family members requires a lot of money as a sacrifice to the god of the oath. Mo Yun recalled that in the ceremony when he joined the Aman family, there were about 10 silver coins among the offerings to the god of the oath. About 10 silver coins may not seem like many, but they are actually not small numbers. A Catwoman slave only needs 8 pieces, while a Godman slave with 10 years of supernatural power only starts at 80 silver coins. The most important thing is that silver coins are only part of the sacrifices for establishing the oath, and other sacrifices must also be bought with silver coins. Thinking about it this way, recruiting a certain number of new members at one time is indeed a lot of money. Sister, please wait a moment. Mo Yun quickly made a decision. He returned to the residence, and soon returned to the banquet. Afterwards, Mo Yun turned the money bag upside down, and a large handful of silver coins fell on the table, and the 2 gold coins on it were particularly conspicuous. This is all my money. I would like to contribute to the family. Everyone looked at Mo Yun in surprise. They didn't expect that Mo Yun had such a huge sum of money on him. The money came from the overseers who were killed by Mo Yun, and some of them could even be said to be their savings from working in the mine for several years. A pack added up to 300 or 400 silver coins. Most of them came from Gandy, and those 2 gold coins were particularly conspicuous. At this time Mo Yun already knew. In the realm of the gods, money is not just money. The reason why Huishan Lord mainly circulates this kind of small silver coins is because under the hands of the demigod Lord Art, there is a son of God who is a silver coin god. For the god of currency, the wider the circulation of the currency he makes, the more divine power he can obtain. And every coin contains divine power. A silver coin in Huishan collar contains 0.3 divine power. It can be directly absorbed, and the absorbed silver coin is no longer the currency of the gods, but a piece of scrap silver. The only pity is that the currency is not limited only by its own absorption speed like Shanlaimai and Huishan mine. There is a limit to the divine power that can be absorbed from a currency in one day, and this limit depends on the strength of the god who forged the currency. The limit of Huishan silver coins is 10 silver coins per day, which is 3 days of divine power. And this big gold coin came from the lord whom the demigod Ader was loyal to, so the limit of how it could be absorbed was much higher. The big gold coin is 5 divine powers, which can normally be exchanged for 30 Huishan collar silver coins, but at the Castro market, it can be exchanged for 50 Huishan collar silver coins. This is because after absorbing the divine power in the big gold coin, you will get 2 short-lasting but very effective blessings for the gods. Wealth blessings and healing blessings. After seeing so much money, Julie seemed to have no more excuses to refuse. Her blue eyes took a deep look at Mo Yun. Thank you for your contribution to the family. The family will never forget your contribution. Back at the residence, Mo Yun found that Elsa seemed to have something on her mind. After hesitating for a moment, Elsa finally couldn't help but said, "Have you ever heard a saying, the best servant knights often don't get the master's true biography?" Mo Yun laughed. Elsa's proverb is actually very easy to understand, translated into Shui Lengxing's words. The master of high power. Mo Yun replied calmly, "Don't worry, I will take care of everything." Elsa froze for a moment. She suddenly thought of a possibility, and the more she thought about it, the more she felt that this possibility was the truth. Could it be that your purpose is to capture the Aman family? Mo Yun smiled slightly. Why not? Are you not afraid that Aman will deal with you? Everything I do now is for the development of the Aman family. Why should the patriarch deal with me? But you, Mo Yun chuckled lightly. But what? But I have a root bone in the back of my head, right? Mo Yun is very clear about Amon's strength. Because of the curse, Aman has 400 years of divine power but cannot further become the son of God, so he is known as the most powerful god in Castro market. Mo Yun doesn't think that the current self will be better than Aman. But only for now. Besides, Mo Yun actually admires Aman, so if possible, Mo Yun doesn't want to be an enemy of Aman. There is not only one way to make the Aman family their own. By the way, you contributed a lot to today's hunt. Do you have any rewards you want? Mo Yun asked Elsa. When hunting today, the members of the Aman family were all fools, and no one knew how to track the beast. In the end, Elsa stood up and said that she had learned to track advanced monsters. Elsa froze for a moment. She did have something she wanted very much. I want to learn your cultivation method. My cultivation method. Mo Yun thought for a moment before realizing that Elsa was talking about meditation. It seemed that she felt that this was the source of her strength. It seems that she has no problem with her thinking. Since Elsa wants to learn, Mo Yun doesn't mind teaching, and also plans to teach her the complete breathing method. In fact, even with Elsa's meditation posture and breathing method, it is difficult to see the effect in a short period of time. Not everyone has a systematic bonus like herself. Teaching is always accompanied by some physical contact, so Mo Yun taught elsewhere as he taught. Just when the sideshow was halfway through, the system sound suddenly sounded. Ding! It is detected that the host and the partner have experienced the harmony of the harmony, and they have jointly obtained 15 times the strengthening of breathing and breathing. Mo Yun was shocked. Harmony. Common acquisition. How does your system still have this function? Mo Yun looked at Elsa, saw the suspicious look on her face, and knew that she must have gained 15 times the strengthening of breathing and breathing. So Mo Yun tentatively asked, "Did you hear anything just now?" Sound. What sound? Elsa asked in surprise. I just feel that my whole body suddenly seems different. A treacherous look flashed across Mo Yun's eyes, and he said to Elsa, "Do you want to become stronger?" To become stronger, of course I want to. Mo Yun decided to spend the whole night carefully studying the new functions of the enhancement system. After dawn, Elsa's beautiful cheeks showed a lovely color. In order to verify the reinforcement, Mo Yun made many new attempts on Elsa. As for herself, she was also dazzled by the benefits brought by the strengthening, and all kinds of cooperation were even catered to. Looking back now, she was so ashamed that she had lost all the shame of the Holy Spirit. However, she did become stronger. Obviously just learned the method of breathing and exhalation, but it has reached a very advanced level all of a sudden. Other than that, her stamina seemed to have suddenly grown more than 10 times what it was before. And Mo Yun also got the same benefits as Elsa. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.